You must have heard many stories about freedom, but after watching this story, you will truly understand the real meaning of freedom. This is a time when people didn't go to markets to buy vegetables, but instead went to buy human beings so they could make them slaves and extract work from them year after year. In this market, you would find all kinds of people, the elderly, the youth, women, and children. But among them is one man named Solomon Northup. He looks black, but his heart is pure. Unlike the others, he is nobody's slave. He lives happily with his family. Solomon is a respected musician. One day, as usual, he is heading to work when he meets a friend who introduces him to two white men named Brown and Hamilton, both magicians by profession. They tell Solomon that they want to offer him a job because he plays the violin very well. They say he needs to work in their show, for which they will pay him $70 a day and $250 on the days he performs. In that era, the sum of $250 was a huge amount, which is why Solomon accepts their offer. Shortly after, we see him in Washington, where those two work. The three of them are in a restaurant where Solomon has a few too many drinks, but when he opens his eyes, he finds himself chained in a dark room. This is where the second chapter of his life begins. He is shocked and wonders how he got here. Slowly, everything from the previous night starts coming back to him, and he realizes that those people betrayed him and sold him. A short while later, two men enter that room. Solomon tells them, "I am not a slave, I am a free man." But are they going to listen to him? Instead, they ruthlessly start whipping him for no reason. Solomon screams and cries out in pain, but in this dungeon, this is a normal occurrence. Here, every moment you hear the screams of someone or other, which are simply ignored. In that place, there are other people too who were brought just like Solomon, among whom is a mother of two children. Now one night, those people are secretly taken to another place. Solomon tells his companions, "The crew is very small. If we want, we can kill them, run away, and be free." Those people agree to his plan and start waiting for the white men. A short while later, a man comes there and forcibly tries to take that black lady away. Suddenly, another man tries to stop him from behind, but without a second thought, the white man stabs him with a knife. Here we learn that the lives of these slaves have no value. They are kept like animals. The next day, Solomon floats his dead body away in the water. He too now understands that if he raises his voice even a bit, he will also be floating away in that water. A short while later, all the slaves reach a place where the slave owners are present. When Solomon casts his glance all around, he sees helplessness everywhere. Slaves are seen begging for their lives. Women, the elderly, and children, everyone is someone's personal property. There are also some slaves whose bodies bear marks of torture that would make anyone's soul shudder. After this, Solomon and his companions are made to sit in one place, and roll call begins. Whoever's name is called stands up from their place. After a while, the man reading the names calls out Platt, but no one stands up. Then he comes over to Solomon and says, "Why didn't you stand up?" Solomon replies, "My name is not Platt." Before he can say anything further, that man delivers a powerful slap to him, which silences Solomon. He is terrified of what might happen to him next. Next, we see all the slaves standing in an area where rich people come to buy them. Just as people go to big showrooms to buy clothes today, people have come here to buy human beings. The mother of the two children, whose name is Patsy, is also present there. Now a man buys her and Solomon for a total of $10,000. The man who bought them is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, whom you might have seen in the movie Doctor Strange. Well, Patsy tells that man, "I only have two children. Please buy them too so that all three of us can stay together." The man agrees and wants to buy them as well, but the man selling them refuses to do so because he wants to exploit the two little girls in every possible way. Here, Patsy begs them to let her children go with her, and she is ready to spend her whole life in slavery. But there is no one here to listen to her. Right before her eyes, her children are separated from her. She weeps and screams. But this is an era when the value of a human being was measured by mere pennies. The man who bought her here is named Ford. Ford is a kind-hearted man at heart. He does not inflict any cruelty upon them. After this, Solomon and that lady go to the man's house, where his wife treats them quite nicely, though she feels very bad that they were separated from their children. Now Solomon has a new name, Platt. This is his new identity. There are other people there who are slaves. Those people tell Solomon, "If you value your life, do not tell anyone here that you know how to read and write, or these people will kill you." Actually, the work of all these people is to cut trees from the jungle and gather logs. But for Solomon, none of this work is easy. He is an educated man. He has never done such work in his life. He was a musician, but here the circumstances are entirely different. He has to obey every command of his master and keep him happy. One day, Solomon tells Ford, "If we transport the logs via the water route, it will save both your money and time." But the supervisor here does not like Solomon. He is jealous of him. He says nothing like that can happen. The water is very deep. The logs will sink. But Solomon insists, "No, this is possible." Master Ford says, "All right, if you can do this, form a team and show me." Shortly after, Solomon demonstrates crossing that river for the master, seeing which everyone standing there becomes very happy and praises him. Ford is also pleased with him and gifts him a violin because he is a genuinely good person at heart and does not treat his slaves like mere slaves. However, the supervisor is not happy seeing all this. He feels that Solomon will surpass him. Meanwhile, we see Patsy, who is still weeping for her children. Angered by this, Solomon tells her, "How long will you keep crying like this? Instead, find some way to escape from here so you can reunite with your children." Later on, Solomon is given the task of building a house for a girl, which he builds very well. But just then, the supervisor arrives and starts finding faults in his work. Solomon says, "There must have been some mistake in your observation. I have done my work well." Hearing this makes the supervisor extremely angry, and he calls him a dog and kicks him. Solomon is stunned by this, but he does not say anything to him. The next day, the supervisor comes to him again and tells him once more that he is doing his work wrong. Solomon tells him angrily, "You are wrong, not me." Hearing this, the supervisor raises his hand against Solomon. Solomon doesn't sit quietly either. He starts thrashing him with a belt. But right in the middle of this, another supervisor arrives, pulls that supervisor away, and tells Solomon, "If you want to save your life, stay right here." A short while later, both of them bring along another man. Now Solomon is punished for something he never did. Those people put a rope around his neck and hang him from a tree. If they let go of the rope, he will suffocate and die. They are about to let go of the rope when a man arrives, points a gun at them, and says, "This is my slave. Get out of here." The three of them leave. But before leaving, that supervisor tells Solomon, "I will kill you for sure." After they leave, Solomon's difficulties increase even more. He is standing solely on the tip of one toe. If he removes it, he will die. People are working all around him, but they ignore him completely as if nothing happened to Solomon, as if this is normal for them. A short while later, Master Ford arrives, takes him down, and brings him to his house. There he tells him, "That supervisor will not spare you now, so to save your life, I have sold you to another master whose name is Edwin Eps." Solomon tells him, "I am a free man. You know this fact. Please let me go. Send me back to my family." But the master says, "I cannot do this because I am under a lot of debt, and I have no other choice left to save your life." Solomon is fed up with this life. In his mind, he just wants whoever he goes to next to let him go home. The scene shifts, and we see him with a new master, Edwin Eps. Edwin is completely opposite in nature to Master Ford. He beats slaves brutally and inflicts cruelty upon them. Now here the slaves are given the task of picking cotton. Among them is a girl named Patsy who is quite young, but she picks twice as much cotton as the other slaves. Every evening after work, accounts are tallied, and whoever has picked less than 100 kilograms of cotton is whipped. But up until today, Patsy has never been whipped because she does her work extremely well. However, Edwin is a very cruel man, and he has evil eyes on Patsy. One day, all the slaves finish their work and take a nap. Their master doesn't even have the patience to let his slaves rest a bit. He tells his men to summon them to his house. Everyone wakes up half asleep and runs to him. Arriving there in the middle of the night, they find out that they have to dance for the master because he wants entertainment. By watching this scene, you can figure out the mentality of the people of that time. Everyone starts dancing. In the middle of this, the master's wife arrives and hurls a glass mug right into Patsy's face, causing her to fall to the ground in agony. She does this because she knows her husband's eyes have wicked intentions toward Patsy. She tells her husband to sell her, but he replies, "I will not sell her anywhere because she does her work very well." One day, the master's wife gives Solomon some items to fetch from the market, and he takes them and leaves. Halfway there, he decides that he will run away today. Enough is enough. He actually does so, but a short distance away, he sees some white men hanging two slaves. Those white men ask him, "Whose slave are you?" Terrified, Solomon gives no answer. Following that, they notice a locket around his neck inscribed with his master's name. This is an era where dogs don't wear collars, but human beings wear collars bearing the names of their owners. Seeing this, those white men let him go. As he leaves, Solomon looks into the eyes of those hanging slaves, which seem to scream, "We too were running away just like you to meet our families, our little children, but today we are paying the price for it." In reality, friends, these white men would hang any slave who ran away or tried to run away, and the exact same thing was happening to these people. After witnessing this horrifying sight, instead of running away, Solomon goes straight to the market, gets the supplies, and hands them over to the master's wife. Years pass by. Solomon watches all this, but he can do nothing. One night, Patsy comes up to him, hands him a ring, and says, "I stole this from the master's house. You keep it, but do me a favor." He asks, "What favor?" Patsy replies, "Take me to the field and kill me. I don't want to live anymore." Hearing this, Solomon's soul shudders and he refuses to do such a thing. She says, "It is better to die than to live this helpless life. I have no reason to stay alive. Every day I am dying a little bit. You have to do this." But he refuses, and Patsy walks away. No matter how poor someone is or how rich someone is, God is one for everyone, and he does not discriminate among his people, whether they are white or black. And today God listens to Patsy. A blight hits the cotton crop, causing massive losses for the master. Seeing this, he temporarily rents out all his slaves to a judge. While it's not freedom, this brings a slight relief from the pain for these slaves. At the judge's place, their work is to cultivate sugar cane. During this time, Solomon is called to play the violin at a wedding, which he plays exceptionally well. A few days later, these people return to their old master because cotton farming has started up again. While these people were happy while they were away, the moment they return here, the atrocities against them start all over again. The same routine begins once more. Whoever picks the least cotton gets 100 lashes, and Solomon is always at the top of this list, receiving the most lashes. One day, a white man comes to work with them who is nobody's slave. He simply works for money. He lives right alongside the slaves. Gradually, a friendship begins to form between him and the others. Solomon tells him, "Will you do a favor for me?" He asks, "What is it?" Solomon says, "I will write a letter for you. Will you post it for me? I will give you some money in return." The man takes the money and agrees. Solomon says, "I will give you the letter in 2 days." However, that white man betrays Solomon and reveals the entire truth to the master, telling him that a slave is trying to run away here. Hearing this, the master arrives, intoxicated, and says, "I heard there is an educated slave here." Solomon replies, "No, master, there is no such person here." Following that, the master asks him, "I heard you are writing a letter which you asked that white laborer to post." Solomon denies it and lies, saying, "Master, that white laborer wants to become the supervisor here, which is why he is leveling false accusations against us." The master believes him, and Solomon's life is saved. After the master leaves, Solomon burns that letter, or rather, he watches his own hopes burn right before his eyes. That single letter was his final hope to let his family know he is alive. But now even that is gone. Perhaps he will just die doing this labor one day. One day, Patsy goes away without telling the master. Her master searches for her everywhere, but a short while later, she returns. Seeing this, the master goes blind with rage and beats her. Solomon steps in between to rescue her, but the master still doesn't stop. Then Patsy says, "I had gone to take a shower, my body was smelling, and I don't get soap here." But the master doesn't believe her words. Instead, he rips her clothes off, ties her to a tree, and tells Solomon, "Whip her until blood comes out of her body." Solomon does not want to do this at all, but if he doesn't, he and everyone else will be killed. Therefore, he starts whipping her. Patsy screams in agony, and people are standing all around. But as always, a slave's life has no value. After this, the master takes Patsy inside, where ointment is applied to her back. But when Solomon looks at the condition of her back, he breaks down from within. In his anger, he even smashes his most treasured possession, his violin, which was very close to his heart. All his hopes are getting shattered. Sometime later, a white man named Bass comes there, having come strictly to do manual labor for some money. The master approaches him and offers him a drink, but Bass refuses, saying, "You only see my sweat, while these slaves who have been working for you for years, give the drink to them." But the master says, "They are slaves. They are worse than animals. They are my property. I can do whatever I want with them. But you are a white man, and you can even become my friend." Working at a distance, Solomon overhears all these conversations, and he realizes that this man has a good heart. Bass's role is played by Brad Pitt, who is a brilliant artist. One day, Bass comes up to him and says, "You probably want to say something to me. Whatever is in your heart, say it out loud. I am not like the other people." Solomon gains confidence, and after that, he lays out his entire life story before him. Hearing this, Bass also understands to what depths a human being can sink. Bass says, "If writing a letter can get you your freedom, I am ready to do it, but make sure no one finds out about this." A few days later, Bass finishes his work there and goes back to his home. One day, Solomon is working with his people just like always. Suddenly, 2 men arrive in a carriage, one of whom is a police officer. He comes up and asks everyone, "Who is the man named Platt?" Solomon goes up to him. The officer asks, "Do you have any other name besides this?" He replies, "Yes, my name is Solomon." Following that, the officer asks him to identify the second man. Solomon recognizes him almost instantly. It is the very same person from whose shop Solomon used to go shopping along with his family. After this, the police officer asks him a few more questions related to his family, all of which he answers correctly. But right in the middle of this, his master arrives and says, "He is my slave, leave him." He even tells Solomon, "I will pay you more money, stay right here." But Solomon, weeping, goes to his friend Peter and embraces him. After so many years, he has seen someone of his own. But just then, the master arrives, grabs Peter by the neck, and tells him to let go. Peter replies, "I know you brought him here by fraud. If you don't let him go, I will meet you in court, and all your property will be seized." Saying this, he takes Solomon away. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind, "Solomon!" He wonders who is calling him by this name here. He stops and turns back. It is Patsy. She hugs him and weeps uncontrollably. She is the one who has been working here for years, and he was the only one who truly understood her pain. But today, Solomon is going free, whereas Patsy will still have to endure the exact same atrocities, still suffer the exact same pain. Tears stream down Solomon's eyes. Deep down, he wishes that, along with him, the other people could become free too. But that is impossible. The scene shifts, and here Solomon reunites with his family after a full 35 years. Both of his children have grown up, and they are even married now. Solomon cannot believe his eyes that his entire family is standing right in front of him. He looks at them, starts crying, and apologizes for getting trapped in bad times. His children run to him, embrace him tightly, crying, and say, "You don't need to apologize for anything. You didn't do anything wrong." And with that, this story comes to an end. In this entire world, you will find many bad people who will try to belittle you because of your money, your skin color, and your attire, and will consider you weak. But you will also find people like Bass, inside whom humanity is still alive. Later on, Solomon wrote a book about his story titled 12 Years a Slave, and this movie is made based on that. Afterward, he participated in many movements against slavery. However, to this day, no one knows where Solomon died or where he is buried. Along with this, slavery laws were finally abolished on June 19, 1865, after which all slaves became free. How did you like this story? Do let me know by commenting below.